guys, welcome to the PERFORMA POPcast, the podcast or POPcast where we talk about pop culture, we talk about life, we talk about all sorts of things. I'm your host, Peter Sers, as you guys know by now. You either love me or you hate me, and I'm fine either way. My guest today, I actually have had the pleasure of knowing this talented young lady for a few years now, and I've had the opportunity to watch her star ascend. She's got depending on when this comes out, the movie might be out, but it might just be about to come out. It's coming out though when we record this, but like I said, depending on when you guys hear this, but it's with Snoop Dogg, and it's called Blood Pageant, and she's in all sorts of movies, and we're gonna get into it. She's all over the place. She's a comic or comedian. Do you say comic or comedian, Juliana?
Ooh, either or. I don't even know anymore.
Because there is a difference, but it's just funny to hear how people refer to themselves. But anyway, I love her to death. You guys are gonna love her. Put your hands together, you guys, for Juliana Destefano.
Yay! Hello. Thank you, Peter, for having me. I'm so excited.
Are you really?
Oh yes, I have my Jonas Brothers shirt on.
Okay. Let's talk. Okay, so like I said, Juliana is an actor / comedian, and first let's start with this first. You started acting. It had to be at a very young age, right?
Around 10 years old.
10? Oh, that's really young.
Yeah, well, like that was when I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to do this.
Right.
And so I presented the idea. I filmed my first commercial when I was 12, and then I filmed my first movie when I was 16. So. Wow.
And I know, I remember we talked about this, but at what point were you like, okay, because I know you're from, Juliana's from Houston, and at some point you were like, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm really into this thing. I got to move to LA. Like,
yeah. That was when I really wanted to move to LA, was when I was 15.
Oh shit.
I literally looked up apartments, and I was like, here, they're at this amount of money, we can move. And my parents were like, you're in high school.
Yeah.
And so I had to wait.
Didn't Emma Stone do that, but her parents were like, yeah, go ahead, right?
I have no idea. That's an interesting story though.
I'm pretty sure, because I've heard the story, but I remember she hosted SNL one time, and it was like, yeah, just drop out of high school, move to LA, and everything will work out. And I mean, it did for her, but like, fuck, dude.
The thing is, if it doesn't work out for you,
like, what do you do?
Screwed.
I happen to be related to somebody who decided that was a good option, and it was obviously not. So
yeah. I'm glad I moved when I did. I think 18 was the perfect age, because I was legally an adult, and I wanted it for so long that finally when I did move here, I was constantly growing up day by day. So I mean, basically it was like when everybody your age is going to college, you were in a sense going to college, but like in a different way. Yeah, online. So I still like.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even mean that. I just meant like the college of like auditioning. Well, no,
that's what's so funny is like everybody did this normal college experience of like going on a campus and moving away, and like, which is amazing, which is something I'll never ever have.
Right.
But my college experience was, going online and living in LA for dirt cheap at this cheap apartment and blah, 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 where it's like all of my 20s is a college experience. You know what I mean? Like, it's constantly fun. And because like once you graduate college and you're at a college in your home state or a state over, after those 4 years, it's kind of done, and everybody's gone. But when you move here and you have that lifestyle for all your 20s, except for like, I mean, the partying changes throughout it, but like you grow with these people that will be with you for a long, long time, which is so fun.
So you are you're like what, 25 now, 26?
25.
25. Okay, I was like, I know you're like 25-ish. It's cool. It's just funny because I've known you since you were
19.
at least 19. Yeah, I met Juliana when she was probably early on in stand-up. And so we would do shows together, like at the Comedy Store. And couldn't you like not actually hang out in the room? Like,
So I'll tell this now. I had a fake ID.
oh, okay.
It was my sister's college roommate's ID. Her name was Diamond. And I snuck in with it because weirdly enough, so when I was 19, 20 was when something happened at the Comedy Store where they were like, nope, you can't even come in if you're under 21. So I was like, I gotta sneak in. And I was Diamond at the door. I was Juliana on stage.
Hilarious.
And I snuck into all the bars until one of my friends, I snuck into a bar in the Valley doing stand-up. And the guy, the door guy was like, Diamond? And he was like asking me all these questions. I'm like, yep, that's me. And then my comic friend came in and he goes, Juliana, what's up? And I go, and so I got kicked out. Dang it. But I miss those days.
It's weird. I never did the fake ID thing ever.
You never needed to?
No, I never wanted to. I never wanted I didn't want to experience anything before it was time for me to experience. Well,
I never bought it. One thing I've never done with a fake ID is buy a drink.
So you just use it to get into places.
Mostly for stand-up.
Okay.
That was it.
Perfect. Okay, so Juliana, I thought she would be fun to have on here since we talk about pop culture and stuff. So I know of Juliana. I mean, one thing I know, or a couple things, is that she loves the Jonas Brothers, who Jonas Brothers have got to be, I mean, they're a little bit after my time, obviously, but arguably one of the biggest bands in the world. And I know you've met them like a bunch of times.
Over 32 times.
Wait, what? 32?
Yeah.
Wait,
they know I am.
I mean, yeah, clearly.
And not in a creepy way. They're so fine with who I am. They're like, what's up? Like, I ran into Joe Jonas on Runyon Canyon, and I like looked at him and I go, he goes, hey, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh my gosh, he knows who I am. And he wasn't creeped out. I was just hiking, and so was he.
Right. I used to see Joe is so Nick is the one that's married to, and who's the one that had the show that was going to get married, like the first one that got married? What's the oldest one?
That's Kevin.
Okay,
Joe is
Kevin.
The middle one, and Nick is the young one.
Okay, so Joe was the one that used to work out at 24 Hour Fitness when I worked there, because I don't know if it was true or not, but rumor had it that he lived in the tower that was like right across the street. Do you know this for a fact?
Yes, because when I was 15 and I came to LA, I asked my dad if we could get Starbucks over there. And there was a Starbucks right next to it. I was creepy when I was younger, but now I'm an adult and I'm not creepy. I'm just, I don't know.
So you meet them 32 times. Are these like meet and greets, or are these just like you couldn't have gone to that many concerts?
Well,
okay.
There's many different ways I've met them.
Okay, yeah, okay, perfect.
A few stories for a different day, because I'm gonna write about it one day.
Okay, fair enough.
There's oh, it's so good, and I can't wait to tell you.
Oh my god. We're gonna stop recording. No, I'm kidding.
But so a lot of them was being at the right place at the right time, when in reality, I'll tell you. So I'll tell you this much. When I was younger, when I was in middle school, high school, was when Twitter was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so if you just looked up the hashtag I saw the Jonas Brothers or like hashtag Jonas Brothers, whatever town they were in, we would get my friends and I would get these posts where it was like, the Jonas Brothers are eating at this restaurant, or the Jonas Brothers are getting coffee here. So we would like go, and then we'd be like, oh, Joe, Nick, Kevin, what are you doing here? Can we have a pic with you? And so then they also did a softball game, and so we'd go to the softball games. They lived in Texas, so we would run into them in Texas. So
okay,
a lot.
That's how many Jonas Brothers concerts have you been to?
Well, from 12 to 20, I never missed a Texas one.
Okay, fair.
So I always been to the Texas ones. I don't know. I've been to so many Jonas Brothers concerts because they did the Burning Up tour. I did the Houston Rodeo. I went to where else? Like all of their comeback tours, because they've broken up like 7 times. And because I live in LA, each one of them have had like this solo thing or whatever. Yeah. So I've gone to all their solo tours. Oh, I've been to everything.
I'll tell you this, man. There have been several times, and this is me as a straight male. Like I said, Jonas Brothers was a little bit like, I probably would have liked them if they were more in my generation, you know, because I'm obviously a big NSYNC, Backstreet, you know, that's like my time.
Right.
But there have been numerous times that I heard a song, because, you know, I just like music, period. And I'm like, oh, who's this? And I would Shazam it. And it was Nick.
Nick is so talented.
He's got fucking bangers, dude. I don't know who his producers are or whatever, but like some of his songs, I'm just like, dang, dude, like, good for you, buddy. He's got some bangers.
The Jonas Brothers wouldn't be the Jonas Brothers without Nick. And my friends and I have an inside joke where we hate Nick because the Jonas Brothers would be nothing without them. And he is the one who broke them up because like, he was like, bye.
He's like the Justin of NSYNC.
And there's a whole documentary of it. And like Joe and Nick, Kevin know. Like
there's a Jonas Brothers documentary? Yeah,
it's called Happiness Begins.
Oh, I should watch this.
Yeah, it's really good.
I had one more Jonas Brothers related question, and now I don't remember what it was. Damn. Oh, yes, I do. Did you ever watch the show that Nick was on, Kingdom?
I auditioned for it.
Oh, did you really?
And I didn't get it, but I never watched it. I only watched stuff. I never watched acting stuff with them unless they were all in it or Joe was in it. Oh. So it was like, I didn't care much about their acting because I was weirdly jealous. I was like, stick to music.
No pun intended. Jealous.
Here's something funny. My 21st birthday, I had 2 choices. I could go to the Selena Gomez DNCE concert. DNCE was Joe's concert.
Of course, yeah.
Or I can have a trip to Vegas. And everybody's like, you only turn 21 once, trip to Vegas. And I'm like, of course, I'm an adult now. I've seen the Jonas Brothers enough. I get to Vegas. I look online. Joe Jonas is DJing at the casino next to us. Or like the club at High.
Like he did a concert in LA and then fucking flew to Vegas?
Yes. Yeah.
That's rock star shit, dude.
He was DJing. So I was 21. So I legally was able to get in, and I snuck and flirted my way to his table. And so for my 21st birthday, he's DJing and I'm drinking at his friend's table right in front of him. And then the next day, he has a concert. DNC has a beach concert at one of those beach clubs. All of my friends got kicked out. And I literally looked at them in the line getting kicked out, and I go,
"Look, sorry,
it's my birthday."
I would have done the same thing, dude. Same thing. That's awesome. So Kingdom's a good show. Like I didn't know that he was in it. I just watched it because it was like an MMA show and it looked cool. And I remember seeing him in it, and it was a really good show. And there was like this whole petition, and I don't know if they're still doing it, to try to get it to come back, because the way it ended, like I don't know if they knew they were getting like if I don't know it. You know how some shows like get canceled and other shows just don't get picked up again?
Right.
So like a show that's getting canceled, maybe they know they're getting canceled, so they end it. Whereas a show that is waiting to get picked up, they kind of leave the ending to where like this could be an ending if we don't get picked up, but also like we could pick up from here. And so that's how the show ends. Like it's an ending, but I feel like they thought they were going to get renewed for another season.
Yeah.
And they didn't. But I mean, honestly, it's a really good show. Even if you don't like fighting, like, and Nick's character, I don't want to ruin it. Unless you're not going to watch it, then I can ruin it a little bit.
I don't know. I might.
Okay, I'll leave the surprise, but he does a good job. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some tough questions, and then we'll get back to fun questions.
Love it. Tough. Okay.
I love it. So you just stand up and you're an actor. What is one common myth about, let's say, on either one that you would like to debunk?
Oh, this is easy.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a myth, but I remember I've booked, and this isn't me like bragging.
No, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. Juliana books stuff all the time, and she's the sweetest person. So she's not braggadocious. So just so you guys know, this is coming from me. So now you can go ahead and you can speak on it a little bit. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've booked 13 films and did 2 episodes of TV shows. And right now, everything since 2020, everything has been starting to come out as I'm making more. So the next year or the end of this year, more are going to come out. A lot of people say to me, oh, you must like knew the right person. You must have been at the right place at the right time. And oh, you just got lucky. And I go, luck is not like it's you have to like say yes to everything in order to receive luck. It never just happens. And a lot of people think I got lucky. And I go, I've not been lucky. I was top 2 for Power Rangers 2 years in a row where I signed a contract and I did not get it. And
you signed a contract?
Yep. I signed, it told me how much I was going to make and how I was going to New Zealand for a year twice for the Pink Ranger and the Yellow Ranger. I was their favorite. They emailed my manager, the cast manager emailed my manager and was like, Juliana is one of the best actresses that has walked through my room since Amy Adams. And she was rooting for me for 2 years. Look at that. I knew a person and everything, and I still didn't get it.
Right.
And that was the biggest heartbreak of Hollywood. Like I still, even when I think of Power Rangers, my heart breaks.
Really?
And
so I probably shouldn't tell you then. PERFORMA they have Power Ranger shaker cups.
It'd be so funny if that's what you showed me right now.
I don't have. I was into Power Rangers, but not But that's funny.
But it's just an example of like, no, nothing I got was luck. Yeah. I worked my butt off to get whatever luck I received. So
I mean, if we're being honest, Juliana, and I can say it, you don't have to, but like people that say stuff like that, they're just haters.
Yes.
That's all. It is what it. I mean, like, I don't know. Do you get? I know you both know you do. You get trolled online sometimes.
All the time.
And to me, it's funny because like,
so
like
funny.
I get it like on YouTube and stuff, or like on Twitter, and like it'll be like for me like a stand-up clip, and like I don't post clips where I'm bombing, like obviously.
Right, exactly.
Like I'm never gonna post it like, oh, here's me eating dicks on stage. Although that would be kind of funny. Like I don't do that. So I'll post a clip where people are clearly laughing, and then someone will put, it's not even funny. And I'm like, it already happened. Like, I already have the proof that these people laugh because it's in the video. So like,
but I don't need you. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. but people troll, like that's it's like
I had a guy write to me the other day, and his username literally was something like, I bully people online. Like that was literally his username. And
really?
He was just telling me to, like, I don't know, he called me a dumb something. And I was like, yeah, duh.
Like people that go out of their way, like that's the thing that it's like, I could almost understand it from like, you know, like maybe people you went to high school with or junior high or whatever, like, or like I know, like for me, like I have, and I'm not even like super successful, like I just, you know, I work, but like people like family members, like I could see that. But when someone goes out of their way, that's like a complete stranger and is still like, it's like, how sad are you? Like it's so, I've never done that.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to a stranger's page to leave like something? No, because you got your own shit going on.
Exactly.
Okay. What's one thing you wish that you knew before you began your career?
Oh, I'm happy with how seriously I took it, but I wish I took everything like that. All of this is fun.
Right.
And 'cause there were so many moments of like I'll be open with everybody. I was filming a movie and I was so obsessed with the way I looked and how much I weighed and how skinny I was. Like, I have to look like this and I have to be this weight and I have to, and like, I'll never forget, like in my mind thinking all this negative stuff about me, to where now I'll watch that movie and I'll be like, oh my God, I was like, look how young I was and look how cool I was. Like, I wish I was that girl now, you know? And it's like, I know in 2 years from now, I'll look at a video, I'll watch this or something and be like, oh, why was I ever insecure? So I wish I knew that like nothing matters and to just kind of be more happy in the moment, which I know now. I do know that now.
Have more fun. Yeah.
What?
I just like have more fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I've always been like with, at least like with stand-up specific, ever actually even with like acting stuff that I've done too, like it's always cool to me. Like if I'm getting paid to do something like that, I'm just like, this is it. This is the life. Like,
right.
I don't know. I've always been like that because I'm like, and because I know that for me, I've never, it's not like they're calling specifically me to book me on something. Like if I book something, it's because I auditioned for it or because I submitted. Like it's not like I'm not in demand is what I'm saying.
Right.
You know?
So like sorry.
We're good. Okay. Give me 3 people, and you don't have to know them, but 3 people who have been the most influential in your life.
Are you there?
Yep. Did you hear me?
I unplugged my Wi-Fi on it.
Oh, hilarious. Who are 3 people, like I said, you can know them or not, who have been the most influential in your life?
3 people, I would say, sorry, having difficulties. So first one would have to be Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selena Gomez, because so what's so funny is my printer's going off. I'm sorry. I'm ruining everything.
I can't hear it. It's fine.
So when I'll never forget, I was probably 9 or 10, like when I decided that I wanted to start acting and everything. I turned on The Sweet Life of Zac and Cody. Okay. And
wait, is that the show that the kid from Riverdale was on? Cole,
yes.
Cole,
yes.
Whatever, Sprouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I turned it on, and then I saw this girl, and brown hair, you know, same skin tone, and this was a guest star role. And it was her first role she ever had on television besides Barney, which I didn't know about Barney. I didn't know she was on Barney, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, so she was on Barney with Demi Lovato, right? Isn't that how they met? Yeah.
But like, it wasn't like I knew who she was on Barney.
Right, of course.
And then I searched her when she was on I was at Cody, and it said Selena Gomez, Texas. She's from Grand Prairie, Texas. So I was like, she's from Texas. I'm from Texas. Yeah. So I could watch her career. To then that was probably 4th to 5th grade. In 6th grade, Girl Scouts came to our school and they were asking like, if you could be any celebrity, who would you be and why? And I was like, I'd be Selena Gomez because she's pretty and talented and she's on Disney Channel. And this is, again, she was already only, I think, maybe another episode of a show. And they were like, who's Selena Gomez? And then a year later, she blew up. And she was like one of the most famous people besides Miley, of course.
Right.
And so she has a huge impact on my career.
So Selena, she was on Wizards of Waverly Place, right? Is that the show that she was on? And that was on Disney.
Yeah.
But I know you, and you're a big Disney person. Who else was on Wizards of Waverly Place? Or was she like just the only?
She was the most famous one. Nobody else kind of came from it. Lucy Hale did an episode of it before she did Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
But Demi Lovato did a show called Sunny with a Chance, and Demi Lovato guest starred. Selena Gomez guest starred on Sunny with a Chance, and then there was like a Hannah Montana crossover. Where Hannah Montana was on a cruise ship, and then the Wizard of Waverly Place people were there, and the Sweet Life on Deck people were there, and it was
wow. That's like heaven for Disney people.
Oh yeah, I always watched. It was called like the Sweet Life of Hannah Montana on Waverly Place. They had these weird names for
Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because like I said, that's like, it's all like a little after my time, like, but I still kind of was aware of what was going on, Yeah. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, my ex-girlfriend was on an episode of Zac and Cody also.
No way.
Yeah, I just remembered that because.
Was she on Zac and Cody or Sweet Life on Deck?
I think I'm almost positive Sweet Life is Zac and Cody.
Cool.
And she had to ride, like she got to ride on a wave rider with one of them, and it's just funny. I know.
That's so cool.
Okay, so Selena Gomez. Now you've met her too, right?
So this is what's really cool.
I have
two stories about this. So first off, I have 3 things on my bucket list, and I wrote these down a long time ago. It was to be in a shark movie,
and you got a shark movie.
I had a shark movie, and that's what I was getting made fun of online for.
Oh.
The second one is to somehow get some money from the Jonas Brothers by paying to see my stand-up, which has never happened yet, but it's on my bucket list for the Jonas Brothers to see me perform. And the third thing is to somehow be affiliated with Selena Gomez.
Oh, okay.
While working, like not meeting her, because I met her at a meet and greet. So one time, and the story I'm about to tell doesn't count. It just leads up to it. So I looked online and they needed skaters for a music video, and I was like, I can skate, blah, blah, blah. They didn't tell me who the music video was for. And well, you can guess it. It was Selena Gomez's. So I was skating, and then my skate broke, and then she came up to me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like,
"Oh wait, it wasn't supposed to break."
No.
Oh, I thought you meant like that was like part of like the role, like you were skating and.
No, like the skates just broke in front of her and me, and I was like,
"Oh my god."
And so she like came up to me and talked to me, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I go, "I promise I can skate." I didn't want Selena Gomez to think I was a loser. So that was cool. Years later, I get an audition for a show, and it doesn't say the name of the show, and it says executive producer Selena Gomez. Oh. I auditioned for the show 3 to 4 times. Finally, I book it, and it's 1 episode, and it was 13 Reasons Why.
Right.
She's the executive producer of it. So I watched the episode, and it says Bree Juliana Destefano at the end of the credits, and then it says a few other people, and then it says executive producer Selena Gomez, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I can mark it off my bucket list.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just watched the shark movie, but I forget what it's called because I watched it. I watched it I remember I texted you. I was like, but it was like I had to get it on Amazon, and it's called something else.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry you watched it.
Juliana, listen, there are movies, we've all been there, dude. Yours is better than some of mine, I'll tell you that.
The thing is about that movie is I don't think it's bad.
It's not, no, it's
bad.
I mean,
for what, I mean, it's good for how bad it is, if that makes sense. Like, it could be worse, and I think like how fast we filmed it and where we were and what we were doing, it turned out better than it, and the budget.
Right.
But
I was I mean, it was what it was, but I'm not gonna spoil it, but actually I'll tell you off because I don't want to. I'll probably slip into it. But what was funny was like I remember you posting some of like the write-ups, how you were like she was described as like the hot girl, and you were like the friend.
So like I'll back up. All my stand-up is about like how my friends are hotter than me, and all the guys, like just all this stuff. Like everybody thinks that my female friends are hot, like super hot, blah blah blah, and they are. There's this article with the shark movie that came out.
Yeah. What's it called again?
Deep Blue Nightmare.
Deep Blue Nightmare.
Yeah.
On Lifetime movie.
It was on Lifetime. Right?
Yeah.
And there's a whole article, and it says, talking about the other girl, it's like blah blah blah, bikini model.
Yeah.
And friend Juliana Destefano.
Yeah, that was funny. I love, and this is why, you know, people that follow you on social media can see that like you're not a typical, like you have fun with it, like you appreciate how just absurd it is that you know that it endears you to people, obviously, that you, because obviously like where I was talking about, like I would never post a stand-up clip of me bombing, but I like when people talk shit because I'll post that too. I just think it's funny. You're just like, look what
so funny.
Yeah.
I got like, because it's like people are hating on the movie. They're not hating on me.
Right.
A lot of things are just hating on the movie. I'm like, hey, I got paid. They paid my
exactly.
money.
I got fucking paid, dude. Like that's it. That's the end of the discussion. Like whatever you say, I got paid to do that shit.
I got paid and y'all didn't.
And yeah, and you got paid for whatever your shitty job is.
Exactly. I got paid to do something I like.
You work a drive-through at Sonic or something, dude. I got
to like literally be on a yacht in Florida in that movie. Like I was like having the best time of my life. And like, I'm sorry if people hate it, you know?
It's like, it's a Lifetime movie. Like, well,
like you can't expect a lot from it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. Are you into like superhero stuff?
No, not at all. Literally at all. I don't know anything. I don't know the difference between Marvel and DC.
Well, I mean, that's because you're a girl for the most part. Most girls, I mean, like there's like obviously the nerd girls, but like, yeah, my girlfriend's like, wait, is like Captain America in this one? I'm like, no, dude, this is fucking Justice League.
I'll literally, like, I can't watch a superhero thing. Okay. I'd love to be a superhero.
Okay.
But
that's fair.
And I'm not going to watch any of it.
I want to be a superhero too. That's one of my bucket lists. Not even. Oh shit! Did you really fall? Oh, I thought you fell. And it looked like you fell, and I was like, oh my god!
I'm trying so hard to keep this phone up. I'm ruining everything.
Whatchamacallit? What the fuck was I just talking about right now? The superhero. I don't even need to be the superhero. Like I wouldn't even mind being like the villain, but I just want to be in a superhero project.
We're into it, so you get a lot of viewers.
Yeah. Yes. But obviously, like, just for me, it's like when people are like, why do you work out? I'm like, because I'm gonna be in a fucking superhero movie, and I don't want them, like, you remember, you know who I'm gonna fuck up his name. Kumal Nujjanhi, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's a comedian he's like Indian. Hold on. I'm sorry that we're doing this. Yeah, I think I said it right. Kumail Nanjiani. This guy, he's in like.
Oh, he was in the Big Sick.
Yeah, yes, yeah. So that guy, so he got booked for a Marvel thing, and he got jacked.
Yeah.
And he posted a picture and then people were like hating on him, like saying like he's like a sellout and this and that and whatever, you know. And it's like
people hate no matter what.
Exactly. But my thing is, I just want to be jacked now so that they don't have to even say that. Like,
right, yeah.
They'd be like, oh, well, he was fucking, yeah, he's been like waiting 15 years for this part. Like, that's exactly why he wants to do it. Like, so that's
That'd
funny.
Be so fun.
You've been doing stand-up again a little bit.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it. I did it in Oklahoma.
That's right. You got to go at Bricktown. Did you have fun?
So much fun. So much fun.
It's a good club.
Oh yeah, and the people there are so nice.
Yeah, they really are. Like, I mean, that's one thing. Like, I see, the thing is, because I'm from LA, I don't think people in LA are mean. But obviously, you know,
forgetting you're from LA.
Yeah. I'm born and raised. Yeah. I don't know how you forget that. Obviously,
I don't know why, because you're such a Dodgers fan.
Yeah, I'm like the biggest Dodger fan. Like, it's not even a question. So like that right there would make sense. But like, the way I talk and just, yeah, like I was born on fucking Sunset Boulevard. But because I'm from there, I don't see people from LA as mean or whatever, like all the stereotype, because I know so many people that are just normal. Now, there are mean people and whatever, but like that, I don't identify LA with that, but I think a lot of people outside of LA do, you know. But I will say this, people in Oklahoma definitely, they don't give off any mean vibes at all. Whereas in LA, you're like, here it's just like, yeah, everyone's just super friendly. And especially like in the city, like in the country, in the rural areas, it's different.
Yeah.
But like in like the actual city, like it's, you know, it's not diverse like LA, but like there's definitely a melting pot of ideals and cultures and stuff, like, you know. Yeah, and I like doing stand-up in places like, and you know, you're from Texas, so you could probably say to this too, but like I feel like it's like this weird thing where like they're not completely left like LA would be, you know, but it's not so right like that you're like, so it's like, it's kind of like a mix. But because there's a mix, like you could say, like, you don't have to be as PC with comedy. Like you could say like whatever and they just laugh. Whereas LA, people like look around and make sure.
That's what I noticed in Oklahoma, is I'm like, oh, I could say whatever.
You can say anything. You can make fun of them. You can make fun of everybody else.
I made fun of everybody in Oklahoma. I was mean at that one with you there. Yeah. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was fun, actually. Yeah, like it's just they're just cool, like and the thing is too is like for the most part, everyone, when I tell them that I'm from LA, they're like, oh wow, and like they're like, why are you here, kind of thing. Whereas if you were in LA, I feel like I do see people like, if you move to LA from anywhere, people are like, oh, here comes another person. Like we need another person. But over here, it's like, oh, like it's almost like they're so excited that you decided to be there from their place. Whereas
Yeah.
in LA, it's kind of the opposite. And I don't know. But I like it, but I'm ready. Hopefully, I mean, by the time this airs, I might be back. I might be back home already.
Awesome.
We're recording a few of these ahead of time, you guys. Okay, so what can you tell us about this movie that's coming out with Snoop?
Oh, okay. Well, it's gonna be awesome. It is about these pageant queens, and I am the lead pageant girl, but I'm like one of those weird ones, and like I'm like edgier and all this stuff. But the important part is what he does. He's the celebrity judge, so
he plays himself.
Yep, he was high the whole time. He smoked weed the whole time. His trailer was bigger than my apartment. Like he had 2 master bedrooms, like 2 bathrooms. His whole entourage was with him, smoking weed. He filmed a music video at lunch. Like,
wait, how big is his entourage?
I don't remember, but there was I felt like there was at least 8 people with him. I don't know.
That's like crazy.
There were people in there, and this is pre-COVID, so everybody was in his dressing room smoking weed. It was fun. I wasn't in his dressing room. But I went into his trailer before he arrived, and I have a video, and I'll post it when the movie comes out.
It's so funny because Snoop's got like 50, I don't know, mid 50s.
I had no idea.
I think he's got it. I mean, I'm 40 and he's fucking older than me. And he was rapping when I was 1971. So he's like 50. Wow. Snoop's 50. Sorry, Snoop. I didn't mean to age you a few years. But still, to smoke that much weed and just like what was I going to say about I was talking about this on my other podcast. Sorry for plugging my other podcast on this, but about how like when you show up to set, like I know you book so many movies, it's different, but whenever I show up to set, like the fact that I have a trailer with my name on it is just the coolest fucking thing.
It's such a cool feeling.
Like you're like, you show up, you check in and they're like, oh, let me show you to your trailer. You're like, my what? Like, it's just so cool every time.
Oh, I know. You finally feel official.
Yeah.
Like it feels cool.
And then, but what I was also saying was, and it's funny that you talked about Snoop's because I was like, depending on the size of your role determines like how big your trailer is.
Which is so funny. Because I was number 1 on the call sheet.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was number 1 on the call sheet. And it's so funny because it's like, I didn't like my trailer. That was the first time I ever got a trailer, honestly. And it was because I filmed this not a long time ago, but it wasn't this year. And I thought it was so cool. It had like a bed, it had a bathroom, it had a like kind of makeup area, and it was like so cool, and it was like had my name on it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I don't even know what number he was on, like the call sheet. He wasn't lower, but right. I was number 1.
Oh, so he was actually way lower on the call sheet, but his fucking trailer was more baller than yours.
It was like in his contract somewhere. Like
that's funny.
My contract was just, I don't know, pay her.
That's funny, dude. Do you feel like I mean, can you, I don't know what a way to put it, but like, because you book a lot of stuff, but there's also got to be lots of rejection still, obviously.
Oh yeah, all like, the time.
So like, because you started so young, like, had you experienced a lot of it coming to LA, or was that kind of like part of the process of like, you can have these big dreams and then you're like, oh shit.
So the first like rejection I really felt was, it was my 19th birthday. No, maybe it was my 18th birthday. It was like it was right before I moved. It was right before I moved to LA. I auditioned for this movie. Then I had several callbacks. They switched the role on me and was like, now we want you to audition for this. And I auditioned for it. I get the call that I booked it. And this was gonna be my first like big film, and I'm about to sign the contract and blah, blah, blah. And I get an email from my agent and it was just like, we are sorry that this happened. Read the email below. And it was a whole email from casting being like, we switched the lead and Juliana was going to play the lead sister. And now she doesn't like look like who the lead is. And so they cut me out of the movie.
What?
And so that was like heartbreaking because that was right before I was moving to LA. And I was like, this happened to me in Texas.
Oh,
can you imagine like what kind of heartache am I gonna happen? And
I thought you were auditioning for it like in LA, but you were still in Texas.
I was still in
Texas.
Because what happened? They booked an LA girl for the lead. So they booked a star name and I didn't look like her and I was supposed to play her sister. She was blonde hair, blue eyes.
Who's a star?
I don't even remember. Like she wasn't even a big star then.
Damn.
I just remember it was someone considered a star name for that movie. And like I remember seeing her and stuff growing up. But yeah.
That sucks.
But then I moved to LA and like the first audition I ever had was to play J-Lo's daughter. And I was like, that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
And then I was auditioning, and like the first real big heartache, like I said, was the Power Ranger thing that happened twice. And the second time was during COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, September.
Recently.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Juliana, I would have booked you as the fucking pink Power Ranger.
It would have been so fun.
Do they have any? I know you're like mixed though. You're like Italian and something else, right? You're not all Italian.
Yeah, my mom is like some kind of Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But she's adopted. So it was like she just figured this out. She knew she was adopted, but she just figured out like what she was.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly.
I feel like you're like you could pass for Latina, but you could also, pass for like you're like ethnically ambiguous.
Right.
Which is a thing right now.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I get those all the time. Ethnically ambiguous. I'm like, I don't care what you call me, just book me for your shit.
I read a breakdown today, and I was like, you're kidding me. And it's like looking for woman 20 to 27, beautiful, like it said, beautiful plastic surgery face. And I go, I still submitted. It's like, there's no work done, but maybe they'll be like, we feel bad for her. She's average looking, and then give me that.
So you still submit yourself for things?
Every day.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Because I know a lot of directors that I've worked with before. So if I see that they're posting something, I go, hey.
Now, will you submit to the casting notice, or will you like email like the director?
It depends how close I am to the director. There's some directors where they go to all my stand-up shows and they know me very well, to where sometimes they'll email me and they'll be like, hey, I'm casting this. Or I'll be like, yo, I saw this. And then there'll already be an email for the audition because they called casting or something. It really depends.
So you're doing your due diligence as a professional, like making those connections and whatnot, because that obviously is a part of it, right. Like we talked about, people say it's luck, but you're actually, as I'm giving you like lots of credit here, but like you're still kind of young, you're only 25. So like to learn those lessons already, like at such a young age, is like,
I'm so thankful. And I think that's something that would never be taught in a classroom. Like that's something I learned by being thrown out here so young and having to figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, man, it's smart though, because obviously, yes, it's talent 100%. Like, Juliana's talented. She books stuff all the time, but also like you just have to you have to be smart. You have to be a good business person. Like you have to, there's
Right.
there's just all kinds of other things. Like we're going to clap for Juliana. Aww. Okay. This is a good question. If you were me, okay, if you were me, it's not going where you think it is. If you were me, and then you look back on this interview, what would you have asked yourself?
Aw.
I knew.
I was like, if I was Peter,
And I feel like people always think that I'm going to ask them something like, if you were me, like, how would you like do stand up or whatever? And they're like,
so if I was the interviewer and I was interviewing me, what would I ask me? Oh, man, that's so hard. I mean, you asked pretty much really good questions. What would?
It's a tough question, huh?
What do I write my jokes about? I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Where does my material come from?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where does your material come from? I know. I mean,
Oh,
I guess,
I'm
yeah,
glad you asked.
because I know your material, but they don't. So I'm sorry, guys. That's my fault.
I'll tell you what my material is about.
We talked about it a little bit, but
all my hot friends.
Yeah. Juliana does have a lot of hot friends.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And it takes, I think I maybe have actually commented on it like once, but like, trust me, when Juliana posts pictures, I want to be the guy that's like, oh, who's your friend? But like, I don't, because I'm not.
Well, that's what's so funny. When I was doing stand up in Oklahoma, I was like, had to explain. I was like, I was like, I'm hot for Oklahoma. I'm hot for an Oklahoma Walmart. But if you saw the bad bitches I post up with at the pool in Vegas and in LA and all these different places, you'd be like, yeah, Juliana's the funny friend. She's not the hot one.
That's funny.
So I write, of course, a lot of, the thing I mostly write about is being an insecure girl in her 20s. No matter how hot my friends are, and no matter how hot these Instagram models are, them, me, and the next girl, all are insecure. Everybody's insecure. Nobody's talking about it. Yeah. So that's why I talk about it. And I have this whole bit about Runyon Canyon, which anybody watching this, it's a mountain. I mentioned it with Story Soldier Jonas, that everybody hikes in LA.
It's in LA, yeah. Okay, when you say hikes, it's hike to people in LA, but like if you live like in Colorado or like,
it's a social thing.
Yeah, it's a hill.
Yeah, it's a hill where you put makeup on and like booty shorts. Like it's literally like a social thing.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty at the top.
It's pretty at the top, but the people are beautiful. Like everybody there is hot.
Yeah, or famous, or both.
Or famous, exactly. So I have this whole bit about Runyon Canyon, and these girls after a show at the Improv came up to me and they were just like, I loved this bit. Like, I feel the exact same when I go to Runyon, or I feel the exact same when I'm with my friends. And I was like, that's why I do this. I want everybody to, like, because everybody has these insecurities. Now I want someone to talk about it.
Yeah.
And see it. So.
I love it. Where can our listeners connect with you online?
Oh, so my Instagram is my first and last name. It's Juliana Destefano 1, which is JulianaDestefano.
We'll put it in the show notes, you guys. Yeah. Don't worry.
The long name. But I only use Instagram. I don't have anything else. I mean, I have my Facebook, but it's more like my family.
You don't tweet?
I don't tweet.
You don't TikTok?
I do not TikTok. I
feel like you would kill on TikTok.
I'm so against it.
Oh, really?
I'm not against it. I don't want another platform. I like sticking to like posting dumb stuff on Instagram and doing stuff on stage. I don't want another outlet, which I should do it, but I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I have it, but I maybe post once a week or something, just because maybe
I don't
one.
even know how to do a TikTok. Everybody's like wondering why I haven't done it. I was like, I don't feel like learning.
Because by the time this airs, Juliana is like huge on TikTok.
I know, they'd be like, what?
Like, no, that's Juliana. She's like the TikToker that did the thing.
Your podcast is gonna be like, with TikTok star Juliana.
That would be so funny.
Dancing.
Yeah, I've only done, they have like chat. The thing is, like, they have like someone will decide that there's like a quote unquote challenge, and then all of a sudden everyone does it. Like the only one I did the Justin Timberlake one, because that was like dope.
The thing about that is, like, I'll miss out on them because I don't have TikTok.
Right.
And so everybody's doing all this weird stuff and it ends up on Instagram. And I won't even know what's going on.
Right.
But God, I know you said Justin Timberlake, but I have to mention this in the podcast.
Oh.
I look exactly like Justin Bieber. And so if anybody goes to my Instagram, there's a video.
You did a face swap?
Yes, I did a face swap.
And it looks the same.
And it still looks like Justin Bieber. And I posted it.
I don't think you look like Justin Bieber, but you guys do have like similar cheeks.
Like literally, like this is Bieber.
Can I tell you? Hold on. Okay, no one has heard this story on this podcast, but I was doing a show at the Laugh Factory with the guy that I used to work with.
Yes.
And Bieber was there.
Oh.
And he was there, and you know, like at the Laugh Factory, where like on the balcony, where like the comics usually hang out, and then maybe if the crowd's big enough, they'll send people up there, but usually not. So we're hanging out up there, and then Bieber rolls in with his entourage, and whatchamacallit, there, what's her name? I forget what the girl's name was. That was the manager at the time. She's like, hey guys, you know, Bieber's gonna come up with his entourage. Can you guys not? And we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I don't care. So then he sees this happening though, and he's like, hey man, I'm sorry, dude. I was like, oh, it's all good, dude. He was like, what's your name, man? And I was like, Peter. And he's like, oh, are you one of the comedians? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm Justin, man. Nice to meet. I mean, he's so fucking nice, right? And he's like, what do you do your stand-up on? And whatever, like we're talking for like a couple minutes. And my brother is at the show, and my brother's the hugest Bieber fan.
Oh,
like
my God.
He's actually a believer, and I'm like, and I want to text my brother, but then I don't want like to get in trouble. Like, I don't know, like, and so because I want to introduce my brother to him, because obviously he's a huge fan, but I don't want to be like, can my brother come meet you? You know what I mean? So like I didn't. But anyway, the moral of the story was actually the guy who I used to work with takes a picture with him, right? And there's two reasons this is funny. Okay, so he takes a picture of Justin Bieber, right? And I'm sorry, you guys. So PERFORMA, the company, was started in Canada, so they have a huge Canadian audience as well. Bieber looks at my friend and says, if this picture doesn't get you pussy, I don't know what will. Like, what, dude? And he was fucking serious. Oh no. And then, okay, fast forward, okay? I don't care. This is a great fucking story. Dane Cook shows up, right? Knows that Bieber's there. He wants to take a picture too. Bieber doesn't know who Dane Cook is. Like, okay, first of all, Dane Cook is like my comedic idol. Like, he's the one that influenced me the most. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, for me, as a storyteller, as like how he used social media to just fucking be a star. But like, Bieber doesn't know who he is. He just thinks he's another one of the comedians.
Right.
So Dane takes a picture with him, and Justin says the same thing to Dane. And Dane's like, I think I got it, dude. If this picture doesn't get you pussy, I don't know what will. To fucking Dane Cook. Like, oh man.
Wasn't one of the Jenners there too that night? Or was it a different night?
I think it was, okay, so Bieber at the time was, that's when he was gonna get roasted, the Comedy Central roast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he was hanging out at the Laugh Factory like for like a couple weeks, like on a few nights. So the night I went, Kendall wasn't there, but she did go back with him.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I didn't take a picture with him because I'm like I respect him, but like it wasn't. I don't want to pretend and be like a star, fucking, you know.
Well, here's a cool pop culture story that I totally forgot about that I've probably told you a million times.
Yeah.
I told you. I'll lead into it. So I'm at an audition in Texas. So they filmed a lot of like ABC shows at Austin Studios. So my mom, when I would skip school, my mom would take me to Austin. I was the only person at the studio, the only person at the audition, because I had to pick the latest one because I had school in Houston and had to drive to Austin. This is probably 4 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm reading my lines, I'm rehearsing, my mom's sitting next to me. I hear these guys talking downstairs and they're being loud. And so I kind of like look at them. And then I look again. One of them makes eye contact with me and I go, Mom, I'll be right back. And I like walk downstairs acting like I'm getting a drink of water. And one of the guys taps me on the shoulders and he's like, hey, what's your name? And I go, Juliana. He goes, hi, I'm Zac. It was freaking Zac Efron.
What?
And he literally, yes, he literally was like, so what are you doing here? And like asking me all these questions. I'm like, well, I'm auditioning for this. I've known Beth for years. I just did a show. She just cast me in a different show. He's like, wow, I'm working backstage on this show, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you're going to do great. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. And you look awesome.
What?
He said I looked awesome. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I'll never forget it. I didn't get a photo or anything. And I tried to play hard to get. And I was like, well, Zac, it was nice meeting you, but I got to go.
That's it. That's the end of the story.
And I walked up. I left him. And then he walked back upstairs. And have you seen High School Musical?
Yes.
Okay. So
I don't know it probably as well as you do though.
Well, maybe the people watching this, he was very Troy Bolton. So what he did is he walked up the stairs, slid down the stairs, spun and goes, and then walked away. And nobody's going to believe this story. Because that's not true. I was 17 and literally the only person who was with me was my mom. So there's no proof, but.
Oh man. He slid down fucking stairs and did like a little twirl and then. Oh man.
Zac Efron's gonna see. He's not gonna see this. I don't know
no,
why.
he's gonna see this. Zac Efron is. I forgot to tell you is the CEO of the company.
Could you imagine? He'd be like,
I'm just kidding, Darren. Wouldn't that be funny though?
That'd be hilarious. Zac Efron pops in.
He's married now, right?
Not yet, no. But every girl he dates, he's dating a 25-year-old.
Oh, not like a famous person?
No, actually. I mean, she's like a model or something, but not like a famous model, I don't think.
Who did he go out with?
Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, duh. Oh, Vanessa Hudgens.
What?
Do you remember what happened when COVID started?
No, what happened?
Are you serious, Derek? There's this. Okay, I thought she got canceled because
what happened
when COVID started, and they started whatchamacallit, they started putting the lockdowns and everything, and we were all just kind of wondering like, well, what the hell? So she makes this video and she's either drunk or high or both. It's still like people screenshotted it because she obviously deleted it, but it was like, I don't see what the big deal is. Like, yeah, there's a virus. I'm paraphrasing, but like there's a virus, but like old people we have to protect, we have to lock down. She's like, I mean, old people are gonna die. Like and then she's like, people die. Like, do we really have to close everything? People are gonna die. But then what makes it worse is at the end of the video, she's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be posting this. But she posted it, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then everyone was like, how dare you? My grandma died, and this and this. And it was maybe that they died, but like how dare she like talk about old people are gonna die? Like people were outraged, and I thought she got canceled because she disappeared for a while. But I don't know. I don't know if I follow her. I just remember seeing the video.
I love her.
Yeah, she's great. She's beautiful and she's talented. She was in that one. Was she in that show on, like, what was the show called? Wasn't she in a show that just came off the air, like a musical show? What was that musical show? I feel like it was on FX something. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Vanessa Hutchins. High School Musical, obviously.
Yeah, I was about to say, who's that?
The Princess Switch. I'm sorry. Oh. Awful fucking piece of shit movie.
Okay, well, I loved the first one. All the other ones were so bad.
I mean, I watched what's the name of that fucking show? Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if any of the people involved but like it was just, like, I mean, during quarantine there's been just so much on TV and stuff. You're just like, yeah, fuck, I'll watch that, and I'm like, let me watch. And the reason why I talked about her on this podcast, but the reason why I wanted to watch it was because I think I told you my celebrity crush is Cassidy Pope. She's my number one, and I got to meet her. But anyway, they've heard it on this podcast, but Cassidy Pope's boyfriend is this country singer / actor named Sam Palladio. He used to be on the show Nashville, and he plays the prince in the sequel, the Christmas, the Princess Switch. And so I wanted to watch it to see like how good of an actor he was or whatever, just so I could talk shit.
Hilarious.
And I'm watching it, I'm like, is this,
you're like, I could have done.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, is this supposed to be like overacted, or is this like, are they all like acting for real? Like, I don't know.
That was me the whole movie. I was just like, is this supposed to be bad, or is this like?
Yeah.
The first one though, it's embarrassing. I watched like 5 times. I don't know why. I was just one of those movies where I'm like, I want to be a princess, where it's like you can be like that when you're an adult, because it's not like a Disney movie. But then the second one, when they switched, didn't they switch like,
it was like 3 times?
3 times.
Like,
I was like, I can't keep up. I'm not even high. This felt like so trippy and weird. I don't know.
Okay, we went on a tangent. I'm sorry, you guys. We got to talking about things. So yeah, we got your socials on there. The movie comes out maybe before they hear it's supposed to come out in June, I think, sometime, right?
Yeah.
So, and she'll probably, if you follow her,
I'll be posting about it.
Yeah, and I'm sure by the time that this airs, she'll probably have something else that's coming out too. She just can't always say what she has coming up. So
the Oklahoma movie will be coming out after that, I think.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah, she was in Oklahoma while I was here. So, all right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna end the podcast, you guys. Thanks for listening, but don't hang up yet.